Hey everybody, clearing. All right, so today we're going to get into what the Divine Feminines think of this journey, but in a lighthearted, even humorous way, hopefully. I don't know why this is coming in right now, but let's have a look. So what do the Divine Masculines need to know about the Divine Feminines' take on all of this from a point of joy? So we get ascension, surrender, purification, blue star of hope. So yes, masculines, if you've wanted your feminine to lighten up, to loosen up, to be more happy-go-lucky, fun-loving in a connection, this is your star of hope here. That does seem to imply that the feminines that are lighthearted about your connection are on the right track. You know, instead of being karmic and chasing and being negative and calling you out and criticizing and being condemning, this is saying have hope that when we ascend, there is more positive, high frequency energy coming in. So if you've wondered if your feminine seems to laugh things off or not take things too seriously, or, you know, maintain a certain level of spunk or pleasant energy with you, look at that. You know, in karmic templates, we sometimes think if we don't affect somebody negatively, they didn't love us enough. It can be subconscious, but really it can be counterintuitive if somebody seems to be taking care of themselves and in positivity, even when the going gets tough. So yeah, masculines, there's a lot of ways to look at that energy for your feminine. And replenishment, renewal, restoration, auric cleansing. So yeah, if things don't work for your feminines, they are in high enough frequency that they manage their own energy and interact with you when they can be in a consistent high frequency. That is such a beautiful reminder for everyone on this journey that we don't have to be perfect and not feel lower vibrational things around our specific person. It just means that on this journey, when we know ourselves well enough to truly partner in a monogamous, full-on equal match, that we are very proficient at handling our own ish. What can we see for advice for the masculines about to watch this reading? Okay, pleasure. Celebrate life. Engage in your passions. What you seek is seeking you. Love with your whole being. Release control of others. Be your own beloved. So yes, this is a card that's talking about the fierce, untamable aspect of Mother Nature, of the feminine in nature, and how we can embrace it but never tame it. So your feminine has their own life force, vitality, masculines, and so release the control of your feminine. Your feminine is incredibly vital as a human, and so that's to be danced with and adored and cherished. They want you. It's not something you have to worry about having competition for. If you go towards your feminine, they will love you. And it can be beyond your wildest dreams in the way that you can engage with somebody. These are the way relationship is meant to be done. Okay, let's look at how the feminines in high frequency assessment see this journey and their counterpart. Thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the masculines out there about the feminines and how they navigate this journey, embodying love and positivity, about their counterpart, about the process, having that high frequency love, Okay, about the connection, what do the feminines think? Seven of Wands in progress. So humor, laughter, is when we connect the dots in a way that we haven't before. This combination is bravely connecting dots that we haven't had before. And so when there are milestones, when there are developmental stages in this journey, the feminines have really seen things in really like blissfully freeing ways. It's like the triggers or the cringe, the rite of passage, the feminines have been able to sit with it until they find the truth that sets them free. And usually that is a remarkable aha moment that brings a lightening to the connection. So sometimes the feminines can come off as downplaying or dismissing the sincerity, the seriousness of a situation. But it takes a great deal of bravery to find true progress and shift things once and for all inside. That usually only sticks when it is a superior, higher frequency, not superior in an egoic way or superiority complex, but a more life-affirming way of looking at something than the entrapping eye for an eye, victim, blame. Those things cause suffering and attachment. The feminines are very good at seeing a progressive way to look at things that can promote growth and understanding. Yeah, the Fool. So sometimes the feminines can look like they're making jest of the whole dang scenario or not taking it seriously. They might come off as though nothing gets them down, or ignorance is bliss, or they're naive. Furthest from the truth. They are so brave, masculines. I'm hearing the masculines say, and adorable. Aw. Yeah, so let's see, how are the feminines looking at their masculine? Well, there's a little bit of teasing here. What I'm getting is they've always known you're the one, divine masculines. But this blockage card in the inverse is like shooting the eye of the needle. You've got to hit it right on for these discerning feminines to take you seriously. I want to say what you want is wanting you, like that first card. So it's not an impossible puzzle, but this is high value here. Divine masculines, the reason you've stuck with it so long is because your feminine is sharp. Your feminine knows. Your feminine has a spectrum of understanding, and they know themselves. They know you've got to shoot the eye of the needle in order to continue both becoming the best versions of self. And so sometimes they play with you. Sometimes they consciously give you puzzles. Sometimes they say things that are on a level you're not expecting because they don't want to block you. That's not what it's about. But their standards, their aesthetic is so precise and awesome that they give you a little window to reciprocate in certain ways. They let you know how they are feeling about you by having these very discerning ways of navigating reality and invitations for you to meet them there in very kind of bullseye target sort of ways. And they do it through play. They do it through humor. They don't criticize you. They're not condescending. They give you a very small target, and this is saying they know you hit it time and time again. Everybody cares around here, I just heard. What can we see for the masculines here? Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, it's not that it's a game, but they see you as this King of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles always reaches the becoming, and that is the King of Pentacles. So they see your potential and you are measuring up. You keep hitting the mark here. And this is done in interesting ways over the journey. This is one of the things that causes the process to stand the test of time, is that the feminine's minds are sharp and they keep you on your toes, masculines. What can we see for the heart space for the feminines about the connection? So this is Eight of Swords and the Emperor. So one of the interesting, unusual ways that the feminines approach these scenarios is that whenever they feel entrapped in their mind, they drop into their heart and drop control issues. So this is a heart expansion. Whenever their minds find an impasse, they go into feeling and into heart space about it so that they let go of this control. They've learned that when they butt up against limitation or the illusion of limitation, that they are trying to manufacture something that isn't available or appropriate at that time. And so they don't take themselves too seriously. This may be where they seem like they back down, where they sort of say, as you wish. They don't force it. They don't fight it. They don't damage the connection by challenging in a way that is karmic or egoic. They drop out of that zone. It might feel unfamiliar to you, masculines. So when you feel your feminine just sort of hands off the control issues, or they don't behave in an expected way and then go quiet or take a step back, this is because they would rather be good on their own than force something that is going to cause animosity or some kind of disruption in the connection directly. What else do we need to see about that? Five of Wands, they choose their battles. So I am hearing the feminines saying, if my masculine doesn't realize this about me, then I'm just going to wait until they do. And there are some, laughing it off behind the scenes kind of motions where it's like you just throw your hands up in the air and wait it out, masculines. So when you're like, which way did they go? Which way did the feminines go just now? Yeah, they are most likely waiting for you to come to it on your own. That's kind of funny in and of itself, because feminines often will say the masculines aren't talking about things or articulating. So that's kind of ironic that the feminines don't want to add insult to injury. They don't want to go there with certain things. And so, yeah, when the feminines dip, they're like, my masculine will figure it out. Okay, what do we see on the heart space? The Sun and the Daughter of Wands. Okay, if the feminines don't see eye to eye with you, they go to source. They go to their own inner knowing, their own connection to source, and they ask for help. So this is where the feminines get really good at finding creative solutions and taking responsibility for their own happiness. I know this isn't directly humorous here, but it's in the heart of hearts. So we're going to be sincere for a minute in this reading. I mean, not that the whole thing hasn't been sincere, but this is really the source of their undying love, because they are beings of love, masculines. They light their inner flame by going to their connection to source. So if on their heart of hearts, they are in the dark about something, they don't know something, they aren't sure if there's going to be more free flow between the two of you, they drop into petitioning. They ask their higher guidance for those answers. This is the key to why they don't interact with you in a karmic way, where they are hounding you for apologies or information or reasons or explanations. They go to source. They go to source, masculines, and this keeps the love light burning for you, because this goes to a higher understanding. I've heard a couple of times in the last few days that the divine feminines, it's not that they are allowing poor treatment. They just have a bigger capacity because they understand. This is why. This is why your feminine can stride for stride with you, even through the difficult things, or, pick up where they left off when things dip off for a period of time, when there's separations or distance or time passing. This is why the feminines can pick up where the connections left off, is because they have gone to source as their primary focus, and then the relationship. What can we see for this? 9 of Pentacles. Yes, they take care of their own sovereignty, their own autonomy, their own awareness, their own happiness. And so they don't put this codependent stuff on you, demanding you're their source, masculines. What a cool message to have in the heart space. Okay, what do the feminines wish in their own lives? Yes, 4 of Wands and kindness. They just want to be balanced. They just want to have this foundation to be free-flowing, energetic adventurers. They just want to, have a foundation that allows them this springboard to life. They want lighthearted. They want to live in this sort of internal support and external adventure all the time. This is their natural state. This is like heaven on earth, like a child. They want to be unencumbered by guilt, shame. They don't want to have to feel like they can't trust themselves or others. They really want to just live and let live. What can we see here? 7 of Cups. This is the simple truth. In all the confusion, this is the core of what the feminine's jovial attitude is trying to cultivate, is this freedom, this spontaneity, guilt-free, and trust. This is a deep, deep trust that no matter what the kaleidoscope of things are that's going on, that they want peace and unconditional love. And so they don't want to judge or be judged. They want to be able to trust and just be free as a way of life. What do they want specifically in this lighthearted way with your connection? The Star. Wow. They know you're their destiny. They see how everything that you've been through and everything that you've each been through prior to meeting each other has been this developmental awareness of our own conscious knowing of what is our own accountability and what it looks like for another person, you divine masculines or anyone else, to come into their accountability. So this is the card of free will, and they want to keep exploring this destined path of fine-tuning this free will, the way to look at things that is bringing peace on earth, that's bringing these higher timelines, that's bringing in more spontaneity, freedom, joy, playfulness, that heaven on earth, like a child sort of exploration of reality. They know that this journey has gone hand in hand with them learning more about how to do this first person and how they've been transforming. They are feeling this phoenix rising kind of energy. They are feeling that it's only a matter of time until the two of you take hands and tromps off under the stars, or you know, start innovating on the next level, or start collaborating in these next level kind of team efforts. The feminines know that there's been a preparation independently, and then also since meeting you, that this has all been part of the destined path, and that it's only a matter of time until next level things and new innovations, new passion projects, that this joy can be channeled and funneled with the two of you into greater good, into greater innovation and creativity. This is a very creative, I'm being drawn to the orange and the orange here, this sacral chakra, creative passion. I'm being drawn back to the wildfire here. And I think I said phoenix from the ashes here. This destiny that everybody's going to be, you know, honing that creative expression unencumbered, showing the world new, more love-filled, more free ways of navigating and doing things and expressing ourselves with high-frequency positivity and aliveness and life-affirming solutions. All of that. This is the sacral chakra, which is the womb chakra, which is also our divine channeling chakra. So the feminines want to start exploring this healed sacral chakra stuff, and the sexual chemistry, the synergy, the sexual energy generation of creative influence out into the world. I'm very much getting this tantric lovemaking alignment that can come in, you know, when two people are in that lovemaking, in a balanced, unafraid, unadulterated, full focus on each other. There is a synergy that clicks, that empowers both, that takes things to the next level. That true love for each other is such a creative genius state of being. The feminines have never had a connection that does it for them like they imagine, envision, are striving towards with you, divine masculines. This is something with the star, with the phoenix, with their own concept of this untamed self-concept that is liberated, that is free, that is passionate, that they're going towards. This is part of the Holy Grail here. And so they want nothing more than to get to a place where fear is gone, where competition, lack, jealousy, all of that falls away, and we're going towards synergy, creativity, mutual affection, chemistry, and this next level joy for life together. Again, where it's not spread too thin, because there isn't a wandering eye. There isn't a need to go outside of the relationship, because these connections are so perfectly matched. These are the connections that allow for one person to be everything the other person holds near and dear and prioritizes and is turned on by. When these connections balance out and come into unions, this is extraordinary, creative opportunity for everyone involved when two come together on that level through having balanced all of this. So the feminines are very much manifesting union through the lens of what that's going to be like to fully connect with someone that they deem so beautifully suited for them on a soul level, on a creative level, because really our souls are our creative essence. Our spirits are, you know, we live in a dimension of entropy. But when we retain that high frequency of love and a heart for creation, we attune to the eternal. And the feminines want to manifest that awareness, that mutual alignment with you, masculines. What can we see for the feminines' actions? Ace of Pentacles and Son of Pentacles for the second time, the Son of Pentacles. So the feminines are presenting a new opportunity that might not be what it seems on the surface. I'm getting a flirting vibe here. So your feminine is going to always look at you in more than a platonic way, masculines. That might be one of the untamable things, because even when you are trying to keep it in the friend zone, or when you're trying to downplay it, your feminine is still offering you bigger opportunity than those compartmentalized things. Your feminine is vast. And so this is also something that keeps you on your toes. I'm hearing cheeky feminines. Like, this is where your feminine isn't going to play by your rules, isn't going to downplay. Sometimes they're not going to be in bad taste, but you're going to know that they know that you know that they know that you are it for them, and that you are sexy and beautiful and amazing. And so you've got to keep an open mind about that, because they're going to be real, even when you don't necessarily think that they are being appropriate. They're still going to be in their truth. So that's not just about flirting, but whatever this new beginning is that you're each stepping into together, and in these connections, there's a new cycle coming in. And so the feminines are going to keep it real. And that can be very, double take, like, oh, what did they just do there? Masculines, you're going to be giving your head a shake, because sometimes it's going to be very evident that your feminine is their own person. 10 of Pentacles, yeah, they are not the cookie cutter version that you might have been conditioned to believe a good feminine would conform to. They're going to change it up on you. They're going to keep you on their toes, on your toes. They're going to keep it real. But they will always be consistent. And so that is, one of the hallmarks of divine love is ever changing and always the same. The embodiment of that, the embodiment of the consistency of love. If you're confused about how your feminine seems to always stay in a particular energy despite all of it, it's because of this heart of love. What are the feminine's actions straight towards your connection? So this was whatever's happening new in your connection. This is them having a little bit of flirtation in your direction, even if things are changing up for your connection, or not directly romance related. There was a little bit of crossover. Now this is directly to you in your connection. They are investing in the union. So their actions, whatever they're doing, even if it's unrelated, they're still poised and ready for union and the potential for this to grow. They could do an infinite number of other things. The fact that your feminine is continuing to be in your reality, your vicinity, your awareness, in communication, available to you, putting it out there, putting themselves out there for you. Them being there, even if things don't seem to be moving forward in certain ways, or you think something is one way or the other. If your feminine is in your energy in any way, they want union with you as their preference. It doesn't mean they have an agenda that's sneaky. It means that what you want, divine masculines, is wanting you, and you can put down your fear. What did this say? Release control of others, love with your whole being. And so let your feminine be, because whatever they're drawn towards, they're manifesting. If this person that you're watching this for isn't your feminine, I can't even talk about that, because I don't think masculines would be watching this for people that are actually stalkerish or, you know, not wanted by you masculines. So I'm just gonna pretend, I don't know. This is about your feminines, masculine, the Chariot. Yeah, things are moving forward. So for most of the masculines out there, it may look like your feminine is just happy in the friend zone or not thinking about union anymore. You might be telling yourself a lot of different kind of explanations about why your feminine is still like in the mix. This is saying because they still love you, they want union. Your union is such a high priority for them that they are desiring this, that they're doing what is needed to have it come in on a solid foundation. And that this is moving forward. I see the Four of Wands here in the background, and we got that twice already. So this is a very next level union ready energy. So I love that the theme of this was all about the high frequency and the joy of the feminine and the unusual way that divine feminine interprets the journey and connection and milestones and all of that, because this is one of the indications, masculines, that you actually have a divine feminine. This is one of the defining differences between karmic energy that feels relentless and magnetized and goes around in circles and comes back time and time again. The difference is in suffering versus freedom. Yes, it might be that you have to put in the work in these kinds of scenarios, but look at the fruits of the energy of the person that you are traveling with here. If they are consistently high vibe, if they are consistently taking care of themselves and in creative flow, divine feminine, masculines, divine, this is somebody that is good for you. And so that should bring peace to your heart. That should bring in confirmation that the fruits of this person's spirit are, their spiritual reputation is preceding them. If this person is nasty, controlling, that you're watching this for, tricks you up, won't go away, it could be that it's karmic and you haven't figured out how to love yourself more, masculines, because you can hook, you know, class 5 clingers too. Doesn't mean that just because you have multiple cycles with someone that it's a twin flame. Yes, you are learning how to come up and out of lower vibrational suffering and angst in relationships, or you would not be on my channel. But if that person that you're traveling with isn't in a positive frequency, a life-affirming alignment consistently, they have work to do. And you don't have to settle for being abused or being manipulated or being criticized or condescended on. Is that how you say it? You can remove yourself. If that's you, listen to how this particular group of divine feminines has been explained, expressed, and know that you are worthy. If you're watching this and you're not connected with a divine feminine, take the energy from what is possible and have a little prayer or meditation with the divine and ask for somebody that's going to come in, that's going to really be on your team like that, masculines, because you deserve it, especially if you're around here. What can we see for the biggest challenge for the feminines in this high frequency joy of life? Six of Swords, internal process, internal progress, moving themselves from choppy waters, knowing that love exists, but knowing they need to do the work to shift their own mindset to keep going towards love. It's a work in progress. That's the challenge. And the world, that it's not, you know, until we truly come into union on the levels talked about in this reading, our work is not done to get us in that hot seat. Once we do come into unions, it's a constant accountability to stay in love, to choose love, to choose mastery. We can get lazy. I don't think anybody who's truly gone to the moon will forget it, But there always runs the risk that those who are given love may not always see it for what it is, may not always be accountable with it. I want to say a little bit of a blessing that everybody who does receive love will always be accountable with it. And that is the most beautiful thing. But the feminines know that it's a work in progress and that they are coming close to the world finalizing here, rising up to being consistently in a high frequency, to magnetize union, to magnetize true love, true life partnership in these connections, going towards it. That is a lot of the generation of positive charge, of positive frequency. It's an inside job. It's a way of life. It is a consistent way of life that is setting your feminine apart from the rest of the world. You are not wrong to notice that they are unusual. They're not typical. They're not the cookie cutter type of person that the world generally produces. These divine feminines are something else. They are forerunners, they are way showers, and you are as well, masculines, or you would not be connected with one. What can we see for the solution to this challenge? Oh, the Six of Cups reunion right now. So divine masculines, if you have a feminine in your life that fits this bill that we're talking about, this is saying that the solution is to reunite ASAP right now without further ado. That star, we got the blue star of hope. We got the star a little bit earlier with, the feminines knowing that this is a destined connection. So masculines watching this, if you had any doubt that your beautiful, high frequency, conscious counterpart, if it was time to connect, the coast is clear. It's safe. This says without further ado, these reconnections, reunions are in the stars to be happening right now. Wheel of Fortune. So that doesn't mean it's the be all end all, right? It's the tip of the iceberg. We got the Wheel of Fortune in the inverse, meaning, yes, it's on the table. Yes, there's a portal, the 1111 portal coming up. This is union. We've got the Four of Wands, 11. Wow, I'm going to call this an 1111 portal reading. We're already in the energy of it. And so this divine timing, it builds naturally when it's warranted. You have to be accountable and be entrusted with grounding these connections. So just because you're coming together doesn't mean you know all the answers or that it's the be all end all. This is breaking the ice. This is talking further. This is making plans. This is bridging in some way and letting it unfold naturally as a tandem experience coming in. So what's going to be happening in the near future? Okay, a lot of the devil energies and the misconceptions are going to be coming to light. There's going to be things that both of you are going to talk about the devil energies and things that you've each gotten wrong, and sort of speaking out the things that haven't worked, won't work in the future, and that both have struggled with. I do see there's going to be some expression here eventually about the things the misconceptions. This is also, as these connections, as divine timing brings more and more counterparts together in seemingly unusual ways, or things that aren't initially focused on the romantic connection, that these devil energies will be cleared. So if you're coming together for reasons other than, you're romantically choosing each other, whatever needs to be cleared in order for the romantic aspect to come to the forefront, to be paramount, I heard, those devil energies will be released and negotiated while you reconnect under different reasons than the romantic scenario. But that stuff has to be cleared first through being in safe space and familiarity with your counterpart for enough time for those things that fear would say are in the way to dissipate. So this is any of the obstacles, any of the things that go against social norms. There's a developmental phase here, a timing where these connections are going to be coming together in ways that were not initially expected, that are in divine timing, but there's a developmental curve, there's a developmental period, so that the last remaining stigmas can be released. So there's I'm hearing exposure is acceptance. So these connections are going to come in some ways for these counterparts prior to the romantic connection being public knowledge. And so friends and family are going to have an ability to process the couples as being associated as friends or acquaintances before the romantic relationships flourish. This is interesting because I'm seeing how the romantic relationships are desired by both, but not yet fully warranted for the vast majority of the counterparts that are in the process of coming together like this. And so as the community around each counterpart pair grows with the counterparts, it becomes a natural process that evolves into relationship, romantic relationship, but that it is done in divine timing. King of Swords. So there are things that have not been anticipated yet. We don't know what we don't know. Is the reason that it's playing out this way, and why everybody is being asked just to follow the opportunities, the portals, the possibilities, the options, and to go with the flow right now, because the devil energies that will come up for clearing are going to be done in tandem now instead of independently. So a lot of the work to bring in alignment is done in a sovereign way, and that never stops. But what I'm seeing here is that the connections are coming into more of a external world overlap, and that is going to be now a tandem effort, a teamwork for obstacles to be cleared and milestones to be crossed as an increase of availability and freedom to come into romantic connection is accessed. Really interesting stuff. Let's get one last card. Okay, we get 2. Mastery, accountability, and acceptance, self-sustaining systems, fluidity, and abundance. Okay, so everybody, we're getting mastery here on the table and abundance coming in. So when the focus isn't on the relationships, but the focus is on 2 sovereign people in mastery and their own accountability and self-sustaining, this is what clears the path for these next level relationships to instruct and teach and integrate into society in a way that is revolutionary for all involved. The individuals at the center of these motions and friends and family witnessing the fruits that are going to be coming in for these life-affirming connections. Who would have thought it, Divine Feminines, that this heart of fire and joy and high frequency embodiment that you have as a Divine Feminine would do so much to change the world? How beautiful. Bye for now.